Yo, 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 what is going on, COD Familia? It is your boy BN, aka Mr. Kingdom Builder. And in today's video, we're going to be going over the first kingdoms that are going to be having the shot to go into the new season, T1/S2++. First, we're going to talk about the pool of kingdoms that are going in, along with a schedule that you can expect from me on specific types of videos, along with when I'm going to be streaming. This is pretty exciting. I cannot wait because over the next couple days, I would argue over the next week, is going to be just absolutely bananas. And I'm going to break it all down for you. So let's start off first with which kingdoms are actually going to be going into the new season first that were announced a number of days ago. So I will tell you. You can see here that the season timeline came out. Preview came out 5 days ago. Migration then hit a day after. Migration phase is over. That lasted 3 days. And then we have the summary that is going to be coming up here in about 2 days. That is going to be the start of awesomeness. However, which kingdoms are actually going in? We'll show you that here. So if we end up going to the season overview and we go to season 2+, the ones that are going in are kingdoms that are in SS2-2 through SS2-10. That is comprised of these ones here, these, continuing of these ones, those, over there, and over her. Essentially, it's 1 through 10 and 22 through 90. Those are the kingdoms that are going in. So if you fall into one of those, you're going to be having the first opportunity to go and take a look at the new T1 season / as we call it on the inside, or the D-Low, is S2++. So what does this mean for types of content that you can expect from me to be coming out in the future over this next week's span? So let me first talk about what videos, and then I'm going to talk about streaming. So video-wise, for those of you that are privy to what I put out last time when I ended up covering, and I'm going to be giving you a snapshot here as well, so get excited, is that when summary hits, that is when we will be able to actually see the home kingdom numbers for players. When we click on here, if you remember last time, I think it said server or home server, something like that, and then the number for where those people are showed up. That will be popping once summary hits, which again will be when this timer here finishes for those 9 S2+ KVK groups that we mentioned, SS2 through 10. So what does that mean for me on the first batch of content? Well, over the next day or two, I'm going to be putting out a kind of migration winners and losers video that I'll be doing separately, and that'll be a condensed one from what I did on the live stream. That will probably be coming out tomorrow on the 26th. The 27th, we'll probably end up doing something along the lines of let me see where I have this one listed on my short list. We'll be also covering kind of the wild migration swings and things that kingdoms have been doing to try and get more players in. We will, after the summary hits, I'm going to be doing my big group preview or group predictions where I pull all the data for those kingdoms 1 through 10 and 22 through 90. I will show you this here because, again, some of you are probably familiar with it. This is where I did a big data pool on these ones for when these groups were going into S2+, right? And you can see up here 1 through 10, 22 through 90. If you recall this is where I went in and I pulled data for the top kingdoms. I pulled data for the top alliances and the top players. Now, this was more of a deep dive than I usually do. And thankfully, this was met with people really enjoying kind of seeing these overviews. So I'm planning to do this again. If you remember, this was last done towards the end of November last year, where we went in and I compiled a list of the alliances that were in each kingdom, the kingdom power based on alliances that were at least at 1 billion power or more, and you could see that listed here, right? This is still formatted, but you could see all the kingdoms. And again, there were some here that didn't have any alliances over 1 billion power or more, right? So they just were kind of left there. I also ended up doing a deep dive on alliances where we showed you alliances that were over 1 billion power. It came out to 176, right? And some of you know I usually only do top 25 for my list. So again, because this is a big pool of kingdoms, and I love the way they do this, I really hope, and I know this could be a little selfish of me, but I would hope that they could maybe consider doing this in the future, where instead of coming out with a season one at a time. They pool 16, 20, 30, 40, 50 kingdoms, and then they put those into a big group pool. And then when they go about assigning who's going to play with who and how they're going to pair them, that would be dope. Then we did players, and for players, I did players that were over 100 mil. So there was 139 players over 100 million at the time when I took the data towards end of November last year. Now, I don't know if I'm going to expand on this because I'm just going to imagine that there's probably going to be more people at 100 mil, depending on how much people or players are able to recover from now until season summary hits, right, which will be in about 2 days. So we'll see. If there's less than maybe 150 or so, right, I'll probably keep it around there. If there's more, right, then I'll obviously document those. And then I may also do a list to see how many T5s there are total across these kingdoms. Again, at least for as much as I can, because if you remember, right, we can only look at the top 200 players on the boards. So the challenge with that is even if we go into a KVK that has more than 200 people at T5, there's really just no way. There's no way where I could do it in like a quick, efficient manner, right? And you could see here in the kingdom, which I think is SS2-7 or 5, right? They have more than 200 people that are at T5, right? Yeah, so SS2-5. So just to kind of give a little leeway there. Then as we continue past summary, once matchmaking hits, I will, and the video, and I want to point out the video that I was talking about for this sheet that I'm going to pull, where I showed you the KVK power, right? So when I saw the servers, I assigned them ranks based on the power, and that's when I showed you my nice kind of overview. And remember, I made this sheet public as well for people to view. For those of you that are wondering, I'll be releasing this probably on the 29th at the latest. If I can do it on the 28th, I will. However, I don't want to make any hard promises on there because remember, pulling the data for this by myself does take a bit. So I'm going to plan for this to be released around 15 UTC on the 29th. But if I can get it out to you on the 28th, I will try to. And then once matchmaking hits on the 30th and we can see which kingdoms are getting paired in what groups, I'll do another video where we compare the group matchings versus the data that I pulled so we can see how are they pairing kingdoms in groups this time. If you remember last time, we saw that they were pairing groups in kind of a couple high power kingdoms, some medium range kingdoms, and some low powered kingdoms. Will they keep that same system or same mechanic or filtering, that procedure that they apply, or will it be something different? Right, so that'll be curious. And then we can also see kind of overall who are the top alliances in the matchups, who are some players to look out for as well. And then maybe we can make some predictions after that point as well. And then we'll get into region select on the 31st. So I'll try and figure out from you, if any alliances are willing to let me know, I'll try and figure out where are people going so I can try and get that out to you maybe on the 1st of February, because there should be a 2-day window between region select and new season. So on the 1st of February, I'll try and get that video out, which is, hey, where are people going? And then when the new season drops on February 2nd, again, if that still plays out the way it should, right, then we'll have some videos out then on that day as well. Now, when it comes to the streaming schedule, my streaming schedule, again, I'm planning to stream when matchmaking groups are announced. So that's going to be an absolute must, right? On the 30th, when this hits, I'll be streaming at Reset. Maybe on Region Select, but without a doubt, I'll be streaming again. And these are hard streaming dates. I'll probably be streaming sometimes in between these days. But for the hard dates, it'll be Reset on matchmaking, and then it'll also be Reset on the 2nd for when Season 2, or for when Season 2++ / T1 is released, so we can show you off everything that's happening in the new season, answer questions, click on everything, look at everything, and again, just have a great time. So that's basically video release schedule and streaming schedule that you can expect from me over the next week. And if there's anything else that you would like to see, other types of videos, maybe if there's some other days that you'd like for me to stream to as well, let me know. If you're watching this video when it releases on the 25th, I think we're going to try and stream this evening for some of the 3 S2 Plus KVKs, which was SS2-12, 13, and 14, that just opened up their final zone. So again, if you're watching until the end here, little small note. With that in mind, that's it. for me. Again, just wanted to give you guys an update, kind of a what's to come, upcoming, and I'm excited. Man, the next week of Call of Dragons has so much in store for us. I cannot wait to cover as much of it as I can for all of you. And the very last little tip, or last little secret note I'm going to give you, for those of you that have stayed here until the end, is I finally figured out a way to utilize the spreadsheets when I do my top 25 stat videos, to where I can still incorporate the spreadsheet and the things that I wanted to do for the format I've been using. So for those of you that have been, wanting or like that I show off or use the spreadsheet in those videos, I'm going to be combining those two things, what I was doing previously versus what I'm doing now, because I finally figured out how to do it. So that's something you can look forward to when we eventually do the February 2024 top 25 stats across the game. Okay, that's it for me. As always, until next time, I will catch you later.